Director for Credentialing, Education, and Research from AAFCS. And she's here to provide us with an exciting update.
Thank you so much, Margaret. It is a pleasure for me to be with you today virtually and the Ohio members. I am bringing you greetings on behalf of our National Board of Directors, as well as our staff, and as from our new Executive Director, Nancy Bach, who took this new role on starting today, actually. So I am thrilled to be with you in my role as Senior Director for Credentialing, Education, and Research, and to kick off your affiliate conference and what has your agenda just is filled with wonderful topics. And I'm so excited that you could utilize technology to be able to deliver that content to your members. So when we think about our world today and we think about where we were probably this time last year when we began to see a real shift in our world or our world as we know it, we know that as a national organization, we have had to make some changes. We've had to make some shifts. We've pivoted, much like you have done in your own affiliate and probably in your own personal and professional lives. When we think about our world today, we know that there are demographic, social, technical, economic, and environmental challenges that are facing all of us personally and professionally. You add in a pandemic and accelerating technologies to accommodate our increasingly virtual world, and all of these challenges and demands can be quite overwhelming. Addressing these challenges while envisioning our future of family and consumer sciences is really important and requires effective strategies for acquiring, maintaining, sustaining, and developing our resources. But as I think about our world today and all of the many challenges that we face, I am reminded of many quotes from our previous pioneers in the profession, that our time is really now. Mary Sweeney, back in the 1950s and 1960s, had this quote that I found just a couple of weeks ago that I thought was so relevant to what we're doing. When we think about our time in history, with all of the societal issues and coupled with a pandemic, we know that family and consumer sciences has great value. So our time to shine is really now. We are relevant, and we need to make sure that others recognize and respect our relevance. When we think about family and consumer sciences as a field of study focused on the science and the art of living and working well in a complex world, we know that we bring great value. Not only are we addressing multiple content areas and practice settings, but it is through research, the wonderful experiential education and technology that we have that is helping our professionals help people lead better lives, be work and career ready, build strong families, and make meaningful contributions to their communities. So we know the value that family and consumer sciences has. So now it's our responsibility as family and consumer sciences professionals to make sure that the entire world knows about that value and they know how we make life richer and happier from all perspectives, of personal finance to apparel and textiles to nutrition, culinary, hospitality. So that is why AAFCS back in December launched the #FCS Success campaign. It is a campaign focused on raising our voices, raising the visibility and value of family and consumer sciences. And that's what I want to focus my update on this afternoon. The FCS Success campaign has a website, so that URL is provided there for you. We've had multiple sessions, whether it was a town hall session whether it was a campaign clinic, and in March, in just a couple of weeks, we're going to have an advocacy session focused on FCS success. This campaign is providing a toolkit, resources that are ready to just download, plug and play, if you will, so that you as an FCS professional can help us raise our voices, raise our visibility, and share the value that we have in family and consumer sciences. These are just a couple of the resources that you'll see on that dedicated webpage for FCS success. So I would encourage you to visit the site. You'll find some flyers there. You'll find images that you can use for your social media profiles. You'll find the Zoom backgrounds that were mentioned earlier, an elevator speech. And this is just a few of the resources that we will be providing as part of this campaign. This campaign is a long-term campaign, so we will continue to build and share resources that will help equip you to take the lead and share more about this profession and the essential skills that we equip individuals, families, and communities with. So not only do we want you to participate in the FCS success campaign, we want you to help frame our future by telling your story, your personal and professional story of what brought you into the family and consumer sciences profession. Tell the story of your affiliate and its role in the value that it's playing for Ohio citizens. So tell your story using the hashtag FCS success. Not only do we want you to tell your story and the value that it brings, but we know that in order to frame our future, we're going to have to invest in and build relationships. The power of relationships are so very important. Successful collaborative projects do require an investment of our time. And whether we are investing in those relationships as an individual professional member or as an affiliate, we will find that those relationships are going to help us frame our future and sustain our future. Because it's those relationships that's going to help us foster ideas and learning. We get the perspectives of others. We get perspectives from other content areas as well as other practice settings. So think about how personally, professionally, and as an affiliate, you can foster ideas and learning. Because we know that relationships are so important. I found this African proverb that is so true. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I think that really emphasizes for us the importance of having those relationships and demonstrating the relevance and the value that we bring to those relationships. And I wanted to share with you one of the relationships that AAFCS has participated in over the last 3 years, and that is the National Partnership to Recruit, Prepare, and Support FCS Educators. This 3-year funded grant by USDA NIFA has allowed AAFCS to work with SUNY, State University of New York, as well as FCCLA in 3 main areas: addressing the critical shortage of FCS educators, both in extension and in academic settings, whether at the middle school, secondary, or post-secondary level. We know that there's a critical shortage, and so identifying the challenges, the resources, and the needs so that we can recruit FCS educators to go into the classroom, to go into the community, to work with 4-H, to work with FCCLA. We know recruiting is important. Preparing them and making sure they are highly qualified and that they understand the body of knowledge of family and consumer sciences. And not only recruiting them and preparing them, but making sure that they are supported and retained once they launch their professional journey. So this is just one example of a successful collaborative relationship that AAFCS has been able to participate in over the last 3 years. If you'd like to learn more about this successful collaborative initiative, please visit our website at fcsed.net to learn more about recruiting, preparing, and supporting FCS educators so that they can all make a difference in the lives of individuals, families, and communities. As we think about our own unique roles as AAFCS members and affiliates, we know that we each play a unique role. But look at how wonderful we can, work together. Just like this quote, that snowflakes are one of nature's most fragile things, but look what they can do when they stick together. And so when you and your affiliate can stick together, join, collaborate, work together on projects and initiatives, then you're helping to advance Ohio Family and Consumer Sciences and contributing to helping us advance family and consumer sciences on a national level. And we know that we have a bright future ahead because for over 100 years, we have been an instrumental force in serving individuals and families. And so now, as AAFCS members and FCS professionals, we are at the forefront to provide the necessary leadership to address societal issues and to mentor future professionals who can help operationalize and implement our body of knowledge. I know that looking at our value and building those collaborative relationships will help us lead the way to make contributions, both in the classroom, in research, in our own families, our community, and our world. So I hope that you will engage throughout your affiliate meeting, you'll engage with AAFCS, and that we will all be able to experience #FCS success together. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about our #FCS success campaign, as well as launch your affiliate meeting and the wonderful professional development that you have planned over the coming sessions. I'll be happy to take a few questions if you would like. I think we have a few minutes left if you have any questions.
Lori, I have a question. There were a few people asking for the virtual backdrops that you just mentioned, and I was going to add a link to the chat, but can you maybe point us in the right direction?
I sure can. So I've just put in the chat box the FCS Success Campaign website.
Awesome. Thank you.
And you'll find those Zoom backgrounds there. We also have some member AAFCS Zoom backgrounds as well in the member open forum on our website.
Thank you.
But if you've not had a chance to really explore that website, lots of great resources there that are, again, are plug and play ready. So we want to make sure that it's, something easy to use that's relevant to your work. And I'll just remind you that as a national organization, our staff and our board of directors are here to help advance your affiliates. We can answer questions. We can provide resources. So please reach out to us if there's anything that we can do to further enhance your work within your affiliate through multiple programs that we have, whether it's credentialing, accreditation, membership. We are here to help serve you, and we have certainly made a big shift over the last year to really be able to provide a lot of that support virtually. So whether it was professional development meetings or testing administrations, it doesn't matter if we're virtual or physically housed at a headquarters, your staff is here to help and support you.
Thank you, Lori. Oh, have questions, Sandy?
I do. Based on a conversation I had this morning, and I'm coming at this totally unaware of what has been done, et cetera. But given all the emphasis these days on diversity and equity, I'm wondering how that has played into reviewing a lot of our efforts, including the body of knowledge and the FCS campaign in recruitment.
I'd be glad to share a little bit about that. So last year, the board approved, we had a task force on diversity and inclusion. And last year, that task force actually transitioned into one of our professional communities. And so they have been working very diligently and working with our board and staff to update all of our, for example, to have a diversity, equity, and access and inclusion statement. That task force and community is actually working with the board to develop that statement. We had a statement that was developed and approved last June that was a result of some of the social injustice and social unrest issues that we were seeing. However, we have now expanded that statement to look more broadly at diversity, equity, access, and inclusion. And you'll see some more of that coming out in the next few weeks. Our board actually just reviewed a statement at the board meeting about a week ago. So you'll see more information coming out in that arena, as well as looking at our conference coming up. We have an entire strand focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So our efforts in that area have really ramped up. And so to make sure that we are looking at that from a family and consumer sciences lens, and then how does that actually play into our body of knowledge? Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Lori, Susan Shockey, real fast. I know you've taken on many roles, but I wondered if you could explain quickly to some people who are not as familiar to AAFCS about your role of credentialing, education, and research. That's a very busy role also.
So with credentialing, we have a Family and Consumer Sciences Credentialing Center that includes 3 different arms, if you will. We work with pre-professional assessment and certifications. So how do we assess and certify those that are students, either in high school or post-secondary programs? We have a professional certification program that we've had since the late 80s. And then credentialing also includes our accreditation of our higher ed units. And so we've been accrediting universities and baccalaureate programs since 1971, so almost 40 years. So when we look at credentialing, all of those things, whether it was students, whether it's professionals or higher ed institutions, all fall under credentialing. Within education, I work with our professional development, so our virtual professional development, webinars, providing the content for our annual conference, as well as the research, looking at our research endeavors, our research agenda as a profession and as an organization. And then I also help to manage our Family and Consumer Sciences Research Center. So definitely, Susan, lots of different programs within kind of my umbrella, if you will. But definitely ones that are really a niche for AAFCS. Because we are one of very few that offer, for example, credentialing opportunities.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you for the questions that helped us clarify.